Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Benedict Construction. You've heard me talk about these folks before, and we showed you this last week. I think this, for a construction company, this is pretty impressive. That's the Better Business Bureau certificate they give when you go an entire calendar year without a complaint. Now, a construction company that doesn't get complaints, that's why I use these guys. That's why you should too. Benedict Construction, if you like this here set, they're the ones that built it. Imagine what they could do for your living room, remodel, job, kitchen, or home from the ground up. All right. Over at the Benedict Construction big board, you'll see a list of UT's potential pro guys from yesterday. You'll also notice that of all the people I forgot to print out, Kurt Magid's nicely written in there in hand. But, all right, Alex Ellis, tight end, has signed with the Titans. Matt Giampapa, the long snapper, I haven't seen where he signed anywhere. That one's a little surprising to me. UT long snappers sometimes get a look. Pig Howard to the Raiders. I'm not sure if he signed or if that is a camp invite, but Pig Howard is listed as going to the Raiders as a signee. Marcus Jackson, Jonathan Johnson, Kyler Kerbison. I'm a little surprised somebody didn't throw him a line at the end of the free agent signing period. Maybe they will. Kurt Magid to the Indianapolis Colts. That'll make some folks here happy. Ladero McNeil. Then you got Marquez North went to the Rams. I'm surprised there. They drafted 2 receivers, and yet he chose to sign with them. So he's banking that he can beat those guys out. Von Pearson didn't get a look as far as I know, and no one here's seen it. Brian Randolph to the Rams. I think he's got a shot. There's only 2 free safeties on the roster right now, and he's one of them. Plus 500 career tackles starting year after year in the SEC. I would have drafted Brian Randolph late in the draft. Tavares Salisbury, Chris Weathered, and then Owen Williams signs with the Falcons. If anybody else has seen people who've signed that aren't up on that list, you zip me a tweet, and I hope to check it in between segments. All right, here's what I want to talk about with the panel. Let's go to I was going to throw straight to a graphic. It's my bad. The volunteers who could be drafted next year. Here we go. This is on offense, and I've just tried to throw out everybody there, the senior, junior. You could have people that come out of nowhere, but here's what you got. Starters from last year, or key contributors, or guys that look like they could be contributors this year. Dobbs is a senior, Wiseman, senior, Kroom, senior. A lot of juniors that could leave early. Hurd could leave early. Hard to believe if Alvin Kamara will come back again. You look at the receivers down through there of the linemen. A lot of guys could leave early. And now flip it over to the defensive side of the football. Seniors, Corey Vereen, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Cam Sutton, Malik Foreman, Latrell Lewis. Then you got juniors and Derek Barnett. If he has another year like he had, he can go. Kendall Vickers, Justin Martin, Evan Berry, who you got to factor in his special team stuff. Todd Kelly, Danny O'Brien, Jonathan Kongbo. You know, he's a JUCO transfer, but he technically was a redshirt freshman last year, which means he's a redshirt sophomore this year, which means he would be eligible to go. Mosley, even your punter, Trevor Daniel. Now, you don't see punters and kickers leave early, but I'm just making the list there. Guys, you could have a real just exodus next year from the program.
Yeah, and you could also have a dilemma for 2017, yes. But wait that for 2017.
Yeah.
You know, excuse me, one of the guys that I think, and people will get mad saying that, I think Jalen Hurd should go next year. Running backs have a very short shelf life. They only have so many carries in them. And
he's got a history of bad shoulders.
And he's had a history of bad shoulders. And if I was looking at one guy on that list from the juniors that would leave early, it would be Jalen Hurd. And I know people don't like that, but heck, the kid gives you 3 good years. Hopefully he gives you his 3rd good year this year. That would be when I would expect to go.
Guys, you can make a case that a lot of guys leave early if Tennessee has a real good year. A lot of guys leave early. You could also make the case if Tennessee has a disappointing year. A lot of those guys could leave early if they feel my talent is better than what we showed on the field this year. If they fumble in the 4th quarter and lose 4 games this year, all of a sudden some of those guys may say, "That's it, I'm out of here." Thoughts on Tennessee's draft class next year? Give me a ballpark number.
What's
5,
the over-under?
7?
Yeah,
what do you think?
What's
the over-under? Chuck thinking in gambling terms. Yeah. What's the over-under?
7.5. I put it at 7.5 over and under, and I think you very well could have 8 players taken in 7 rounds.
And that means about half of them would be underclassmen leaving early.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a realistic, legitimate number.
Too.
I think 7.5 is a good starting number, but I would go over that. I think you could go as high as 10. Now, there's still some decisions. Some of these guys are going to come back. Not everyone is going to take off. But I think especially if they have a really good year, you can put up Jonathan Kongbo. If he's second or third in the league in sacks, and he has an opportunity to go to the league, he may bounce as well.
Yeah, redshirt sophomore, so he can go. He's a third-year sophomore. You wonder about Josh Dobbs with his skill set. Where does he go? Now, you saw some of those guys like Jacoby Brissett went third round. I think Dak Prescott went what? Fourth.
Yeah.
He's not as big as those guys.
It's such a quarterback-driven league, guy. I mean, we've seen him taking it. Even if you don't get drafted, you're going to probably get a shot with somebody.
Yeah, I just wonder where he would be. Depends on what kind of year he has this year, obviously.
He's got some work to do. This year will be a very big determining factor, I think, in how much money.
Yeah, once he completes that 65 to 70% of his passes, I see him as a sixth-round pick.
All right, we've still got a 2-minute Peyton Manning tribute. If you haven't seen this new ad, you need to, and we'll show it later. But next, satellite camps and the NCAA snooping around the SEC. We'll tell you who and why. Come on back on the Sports Source.